Okay, so just telling you what you already know, but North Korea does not believe in free speech. I think we all understand that. The next slide, please. But what I was very much shocked by was that in 2020, the groups of people who float the balloons across the DMZ um, raised the ire of the North Koreans. There were some shots fired across the border. No one was actually hurt. Then Kim Jong Un's sister, demanded that these groups be banned from doing this. And literally within days, the South Korean National Assembly gets together and passes a law that is effectively a sweeping ban on any unpermitted communications between South Korean and North Korean citizens. It was denounced by Human Rights Watch, I would say, most cogently. What you see on the right is an op-ed that I co-authored with Professor Sung-Yoon Lee back in 2014, where I predicted that giving into this would result in more accelerated demands for censorship, as in fact happened. Um, the law that the South Korean National Assembly passed was struck down as unconstitutional by the South Korean Supreme Court in 2023. We will see this issue come up again. Next slide. Finally, I will just point out that the West Sea Corridor leads to the port of Incheon. It contains the air corridor to Seoul. It is South Korea's richest fishing ground. It is a vital uh, corridor for the South Korean economy. North Korea has steadily advanced its demands that, whereas in the past they agreed to respect this northern limit line, uh, subsequent South Korean governments have agreed to turn this into effectively a neutral zone, um, to even include the joint use of the Han River estuary. And by graying the control of that area, the possibilities for conflict are almost limitless. Next slide, please. And we have seen other ways in which South Korean governments have acceded to North Korea's demands. Just an example here. Next slide. And of course, North Korea never honors the agreements that it makes, but it is always faithful to its demands. So it agrees to a hotline, it never answers the phone. It agreed to open communications between divided families. And I think when we think about how we interpret North Korea's demands and agreements, we do have to think in terms of how do we enforce the terms that it concedes or agrees to. Um, Another uh, report from the Director of National Intelligence that I would recommend in this area here is, um, they talk about they expect there to be more gray zone conflict regarding North Korea. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop my video for a moment while I walk to pick up my charger. I'll keep talking. Um, don't expect, at least I don't expect, a broad, open, conventional war between North and South Korea absent some miscalculation. I expect something more like war of skirmishes. And if you look at the things that happened in 2009, including the attack on Yeonpyeong-do and the sinking of the Chonan, those are things that I don't think anyone expected were even possible before they actually came to pass. When Henry and I first talked about this game, one of the things that I mentioned was 10 years ago, there was a minor cyber attack. Didn't really have any significant effect on the Korea hydronuclear power plants. Um, who knows that the next one would be equally ineffectual. But we certainly do have to worry now that the threat from North Korea is becoming broader, multi-headed as time passes. Next slide, please.